Next email.
You reading it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah.
This is from Connor Ritchie.
Hey, Connor.
Hey.
Connor!
What?
There we go. Hey, Gadget Spot. I will preface my email by saying I am on the very when it comes to being tech savvy. Came over to your podcast as a fan, listening to Tony. Thanks. On the Geek Show.
I think that's our only audience.
Well, it's a good audience. On the Geek Show, and having quickly become a fan of all your personalities on the podcast. He likes you guys too.
Yes.
Well, I wasn't here last week, so it might not mean me. So,
for the sake of getting really long-winded, I'll jump to my point and questions. Let's see. My question lies in how to make a PC desktop computer a stronger connection to a public hotspot. Now, right off the bat, I know it's probably a bad idea to use my home PC on a public connection. But I guess the simple reason for wanting to do so is I'm cheap.
I understand that.
Yeah. The other reason would be...
your mind just exploded.
Owen lives...
Privacy, cheapness.
What do I do? What do I do?
The other reason would be that all my other devices connect just fine and do quite well. I connect with 2 phones and 2 tablets that do well, and the big one would be my Xbox One. It connects and I can game online without any noticeable issues.
Wow.
So all my devices work fine on the hotspot except the PC. I would really like to do some more PC gaming, but it's hard to pay for internet when the Xbox connects to the hotspot and I can game on it already. So I guess the question would be, is there anything I can do to boost the signal? With my current setup, why isn't my PC working as well as my other devices? And is there a router I could purchase that would work better to connect to a public Wi-Fi? If the answer is to stop being a cheap ass and buy internet, that's cool, haha. But any help would be appreciated. Also, let me know if I was unclear on anything or if you need any more info. Nope. Good on the info.
Yep.
So, Connor, what you have going on here is just weak signal.
So many things, yeah.
Your computer, whatever USB Wi-Fi device you're using on it, just isn't strong enough to grab that Wi-Fi signal like your other devices are. And it's possible too that it might be in a location in your house that has several walls competing with blocking that signal when your other devices don't. So, I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why it could be having poor reception. So, if you ask me, your options are... You bogart my jelly bellies, dude.
He just spit one in the garbage.
Thank you. At least offer me one.
Depending on the Wi-Fi card, can't you buy like an external antenna?
So yes, you can buy a more expensive Wi-Fi card that has longer range for your computer. That would be the first thing I would try if you don't want to jump off the cheap public Wi-Fi Express.
Just make sure you have nothing personal on your computer.
Yeah, basically. Make sure you don't have anything on your computer you'd worry about anyone else seeing.
Yep. It's what a lot of people don't remember is that when you connect to them,
they can see.
They connect to you.
Yeah, they can see everything you do.
I used to keep a free Wi-Fi access point open and wait for people to connect.
You creep.
They're freeloading.
You're like a internet peeping Tom.
Well, they connected to my free Wi-Fi without my consent.
Yeah.
So
you're like one of those guys that opens a hotel, puts up a camera in the bathroom, and just
No.
I don't do that.
What Owen did is called entrapment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
it's different.
So then I would just
like that movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
It's just like that.
So then I would just browse through their files.
So how do you do that?
It takes some jiggery, but it's easy to do.
So what?
Some jiggery.
Some jiggery.
That's Owen, the internet predator that you know is
not
there.
a predator. I'm helping teach them.
If you ever have to say you're not a predator
what not to do.
in a defensive tone of voice,
Was that defensive?
you're a predator.
I'm not a predator.
I am.
He's not on
a
the sex
predator.
offenders list.
Thanks, Nixon.
Yeah, I had to pull up my
Nixon, Owen.
I'm not a predator.
So yeah, your best option honestly would be if you can afford it, just buy some broadband internet.
Get a router and put tomato on it, and then boost the radio signal.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, if you're saying that you're on the lower spectrum of technology, then maybe not. That might not be the answer for you, but that's what I would do.
Anyway, yeah. First, try a new antenna, new Wi-Fi. A new Wi-Fi. What am I thinking of?
Antenna?
dongle.
Yeah,
On
and you
your
can also
computer. Then-
get stronger ones that run off a PCI port.
You know,
out of the back of your
I've
car.
used both, and
Do you like the one
the
that comes out?
PCI ones have never run any better for
Really?
me than the USB ones.
I always feel like they can pull more power and they have a bigger. You can get them with a
Girth?
bigger radio, bigger antenna.
Yeah, maybe
Girth.
maybe they're better now, but before it's been USB's been best
Yeah.
for me. And if you want a nice USB Wi-Fi card, you're looking at probably spending at least $60 to $80.
Don't listen to these guys. Go to Starbucks.
Hey, that's only 1 month of internet.
Take your
true.
laptop.
Here's another option.
There you go.
Get a USB extender, and
Oh.
plug your Wi-Fi adapter into that, and then run it over by closer to the radio or another device.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, USB extenders are
Cheap.
cheap, $8-9 for.
You can get like a 12-foot
Yeah.
for like $10.
Yeah, try that out.
Interesting.
I've never.
Way to
tried-
think outside the box.
I've never
Owen.
tried that before, but I'm in that cheap mode. You know, I'm in that
Cheap mode activated.
cheap- Yeah.
Sweet. All
Moving
right.
on?
Yeah, there you go, Connor. Next question.
James can't read.
It's fine. I'm gonna cut that part out. It's mean. And I control the edits.
Okay, fine. Here.
No, I don't want to read it anymore.
Is it because you can't?
It's because you could shut the hell up.
If you can,
I can read.
If you can reprove it. Here we go, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Pretty good so far.
This guy. I don't want to read it.
Just read it.
No, I'm all nervous now, and I know I'm gonna mess it up.
That's gold.
If you want to be on the show, you got to read
Fine.
the emails.
Time once again for quasi-noob computer questions from Jeremy. By the way, this is Jeremy Foot.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi.
So this is a question Tony will love because it's all about processors.
Yes. We're gonna talk about processors.
We got a few
Yeah.
email
Yep,
processor.
on the next episode too.
I was having a laptop
Maybe the
built
previous?
last summer, and I was blasting it off of a big box build.
Maybe that was the writing and not James's fault.
Nope.
I tried.
So this is a question Tony will love because it is about processors.
Yeah.
I was having a laptop build last summer and I was basing it off a big box build. When I was talking to the builder, I requested a certain processor. He had asked me what I was going to do with it. I told him that I needed it to crunch lots of numbers quickly and accurately, namely data processing of big data sets. I asked why, and he said that not all processors handle data the same. Some are built for speed and some are built for accuracy. For example, you don't necessarily need a processor that will crunch measured distances to the nanometer if you're just trying to add 2 + 2 1 million times. This brings me to my question. What? There is a difference? What makes them different? Is it the actual build architecture, the programming of the processor? When I'm looking at processors to buy next time, who do I tell the difference between a fast data cruncher and something that is super accurate? Thanks, guys. You make me feel smarter just by listening to you.
Listing? Retard.
He also said.
By the way,
Oh,
He also said who instead of how. I just wanted to point that out.
you guys are so mean.
No.
All of you.
accurate.
I bet
We're
you really-
built-
I bet you-
we're built for accuracy. You guys may be built for speed.
I bet you're really good at reading the scriptures when you're called on to do it in church.
Anyway, so
I hate myself.
let me answer this question with a who do you have build your laptop?
Yeah.
That's a really weird question to ask someone when you're building a computer for them because he's not wrong, but he's also not right, in my experience. So there are different classifications of processors, but that really only comes into play in the enterprise world when you're looking at servers, virtual machines, and things like that big companies use in their server farms and in their data centers. When you're playing with consumer-based PC, you have two options for processors. You have AMD and you have Intel. And both of those processors operate on the same x86 architecture, and they also basically do the same thing, but Intel historically for the last 6 or 7 years has been noticeably faster than AMD. Accuracy is going to be the same because they run the same instructions, and they use Windows or Linux or whatever. They use the same program to operate their processing units.
However, Intel's crown may have been
It's possible
the crown.
that
Yeah.
possible that Intel is looking down the barrel of a pretty stiff competition from AMD right now. I don't know if you're watching this after the episode from what 3 and 9 or 310.
7.
If you're watching the episode this after the podcast episode that went live on the 7th of March, then your answer will be in that podcast episode, because we're going to go into fairly in-depth detail between the difference between the new AMD Ryzen CPUs and the Intel Core series of CPUs. Anyway,
We're going to be talking about CPU units in this next episode.
Yeah, boy.
it's gonna
So
be
you
fast.
remember though, it hasn't always been that way. So AMD in the early 2000s,
They were-
AMD came in
Yes.
and they were like, they kind of smashed the desktop world.
Here's the thing. In the early 2000s, AMD was first to market with a 64-bit processor.
Right.
AMD was also first to market with a dual-core processor
Right.
for consumers.
But my understanding with AMD is that they also found that, look, these are what basic desktop users do,
Mm-hmm.
and they built their chip to be super fast in a few certain processes,
Yes.
so that they would feel to the average user like they were better at what they were doing against an Intel.
AMD, for the last probably 8 years, has gone by the mantra of more cores is better. So for the last however long, you've always been able to get an AMD chip that has more compute units than an Intel chip. Intel's mainstream chips top out at 4 processors per CPU with hyper-threading, which breaks it into 2 virtual streams. Anyway, AMD has up to 8, and they've continued that trend with the Ryzen 7 launch earlier this month.
Sweet.
With an 8-core flagship processor. You can get an 8-core flagship processor from Intel. It'll run you over $1,000 for the CPU. The AMD Ryzen 7 1800X, which is their top primo beast, starts at $500. Just as much for half the price. And well, we'll go into all
It
this.
didn't
on
take
the
much
podcast.
to get Tony to
Yeah,
start
I'm very excited about this.
I'm excited to see the benchmarks.
Yeah,
For sure.
So, long story short, when you're building a PC for normal use, when I say normal use, you might not think I mean your case, but I mean like anything that's not enterprise level, anything that's not a data center, anything that's not a server, you're going to choose between Intel or AMD, because that's all there is.
It's kind of a weird question to ask. What different processors you have
when you're building a
when
laptop
you're-
for
a laptop,
someone.
right.
Yeah. You know, if you were doing a server, you could say, do you want AMD? Do you want Intel? Do you want IBM still makes a CPU called PowerPC with their own
Really?
proprietary architecture. I think there's
Crazy.
one more out there that I'm not thinking of that's in the game. But anyway, the point is, if you had this built last year and you didn't go with an Intel CPU, you might have made the wrong choice. But now with the new AMD stuff out, there's actually a reason to give AMD another look and see if they have something good. So,
We can save this one for the show.
okay, is it short?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going to talk about that anyway. So,
Okay.
all right, what else we got? Is that it? We're done.
We're done.
We did them all.
Yep.
If we missed your email, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe send us a reminder saying, "Hey, you forgot my email," and
We
we'll do
don't
it.
miss emails.
Oh,
Or
right.
Twitter or Facebook if we miss any of those.
We might miss those.
Just send us a reminder and say, "Hey, you might have overlooked our email," and we'll get to it on the next video email segment. And James, why don't you tell them about the option that you were thinking about earlier with emails and videos?
That's right. I don't remember.
Video?
What are we talking about?
Video?
Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You were
So
talking-
obviously you can see that this is a video thing that we're doing right now. If you have any questions, sometimes it might be better if you just video yourself and then email it over to our email address, which is, take it away, Tony.
The Gadget Spot Cast at gmail.com.
Oh, we'll feature your video in our video.
So that means
That'd be great.
you'll get viewed by dozens of people.
Dozens.
Literally.
Literally dozens.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's it for this first inaugural edition of the Gadget Spot video email. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Check us out on iTunes, Google Play.
Your favorite podcast service
Yeah,
of choice.
basically,
Yeah.
we're on I think all of them except
Yep.
SoundCloud, because I don't want to pay for hosting twice.
Who
Keyword-
listens to podcasts on SoundCloud?
I don't know.
Keyword search gadget spot.
Yep.
That's all.
Signing off.
Click.
Turn off.
You gotta turn it off, James.
Oh, right.
Turn off.